This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. I'm joined by Warren Spencer over Zoom today. Warren, it's good to see you again. How are you?
Good to see you, bro. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Just be kind of chilling out after the fight, taking some time for yourself and your family. I know you got your newborn baby as well. Just having a little bit of relaxation period.
Yeah. I wish relaxation was really what was going on right now. I've had a very busy mind the past few days, but it is what it is. The sport is probably the most lonely sport in the world in times like this, and this is why the stakes and the risks are so high. When you go into a fight of this magnitude and there's just this many people watching and you've got a lot to prove, and when things end, like that, sometimes you have to just sit back and reflect a little bit. But do you know something Mike Tyson said, which was very relevant actually. He said that you spend so much time in a fight camp being trained to kill, trained to kill, trained to kill, and then when you've had your fight and the locker rooms are empty afterwards, there's no one there to train you out of that. You just kind of get left. Do you know what I mean? So I've been trying my very best just to keep busy and also just focus on my work and stuff like that. But yeah, peace is definitely on the list on the hit list for what I need to do next, bro. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's nice when you finally relax and you have your coach waking up at 5 a.m. to do the runs and the long sparring rounds and the takedown practice and the Brazilian jiu-jitsu, the boxing, all that sort of thing. But we'll just,
Yeah.
I know you're probably not the biggest fan of talking about it, but we will have to just touch on the fight ever so
Mm.
slightly. I thought we'd start with the
Sure.
first question. Why would you shoot a takedown on a Brazilian jiu-jitsu specialist like Dillon Danis as a sort of first move?
It's a very good question because we actually trained the entire camp to not do that. So when I got in the ring, I don't know, I hit him with a combination, a little combination punch. I actually rocked him with the jab, whether he likes it or not. I definitely rocked him with the jab after watching it back, the whole 15 seconds of it. But it was just instinct at the time. Like I just wanted to run through the guy, and I I really don't want to make any excuses. I've got there's a lot of things that I want to say that went wrong on the lead up to the fight, on the whatever it may be, the ring walk, the dressing room, all that kind of shit. There was just a lot of things that were wrong going into this fight, but I think it's just time to just time to accept it that it was all my fault, and that I now need to make some adjustments going into the next one. But sorry to go back to your question there, Fred. I think the whole reason why I shot in the first place is because it was like instinctual. I hit him with a couple of shots. I thought, oh, maybe I've rocked him, and then I just kind of ran at him. You know what I mean? I didn't really have any plan from it. And then next thing you know, he's jumped all over my back and gone straight in for the choke, and that was it.
Was it one of those things where it was all a rush, it was all in the moment, and there wasn't enough time to kind of process the thoughts of what you're gonna do next in your head, and you kind of fell over on the punch, and you thought, right, I can take him down now. F it, let's just go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I like it's instinctual for me to just run straight into the face of danger. And whether I had a game plan or not that night, I think a lot of the time when fighters get pushed into places where they're not comfortable, they revert back to what they know best, and all I know best is just to run straight through it. So I saw a target in front of me and I just ran at him like a lunatic. And that was it. But look, I can't take anything away from Dillon. I actually like the guy. I think he deserves everything that he's got up till now. Whether you like the guy or not, he doesn't take a day off when it comes to social media and doing his thing. He's always thinking about the next step and rustling the feathers. And I hope he makes a statement on the Misfits MMA scene going forwards because it's a really exciting thing to be a part of. And whether people like it or not, there's a lot of people that have had, opinions on me and what I did and what I should have done, could have done, would have done. But at the end of the day, it wasn't their name that was on the Misfits posters. It wasn't their name in the arena that night. It was mine. So I'm grateful that I got to make history that night. I got to be a part of something which was truly, truly fantastic. And not only that, I got to do it with amazing people as well. My whole goal with life has always been to be a part of something fantastic and to work with fantastic people. That's all I want, and I got to do all of that on Saturday night, and I hope it continues.
No, certainly. A part of the biggest card of the year. Well, hopefully there's bigger cards to come this year, but so far the biggest card of the year in the first ever Misfits MMA match. And we're sort of making history at the same time. And now, would you like to stick in Misfits MMA so you go a new sector, or are you going to stay back to boxing?
I mean, my heart tells me right now that I've got unfinished business in the MMA side because I trained so vigorously for the MMA camp. I believe I had so many skills and you know talents in there within the MMA stuff that I really wanted to showcase. And obviously, I didn't get a chance to do that. And again, that's my fault. But I think it would be great to go back in and do another MMA on the Misfits card. But also, my head tells me that I need to go back and do the boxing because the boxing is what I feel like I'm great at. So yeah, I'd definitely go back and do Misfits MMA, 100%.
So it's almost like you've written the whole storybook, but you only got to read the first page. And you got all the other stuff you want to show off, but you can't do it because you haven't been given an opportunity yet. That's how you sort of
Yeah.
feel for the MMA stuff then.
Yeah, I feel like you should be taking this interview for me because that was a way better way of putting it. Yeah, it's an unfinished story. You're absolutely correct. The first page was read, and then that was it. The book was slammed shut. So, yeah, it's a crazy game though because you got to think about this like this whole business, this whole game. There's every single person that got offered to Dillon Danis bottled it. They genuinely did. They bottled it, and the whoever was selected that was to be on the table, they either had they had more MMA experience than Dillon and all that sort of stuff. And I know Dillon's calling out John Jones and all that kind of stuff, and that's his thing. But if you look at Dillon's resume and where he actually sits in the MMA scene, it's only fair that he fights someone with similar experience. You know, I had one MMA fight. I know I had less experience than him, but I still had more ring experience than I had one MMA fight. So, you know, it made sense, and I think it was a fair competition. Yes, his jiu-jitsu level is crazy high, but his stand-up game is nothing. So, I think that balances it out. I really do. And look, I think Dillon, you are still a ball sniffer, but I've got nothing but good things to say about you, bro. I think you're actually a gentleman deep down. I think you're a good guy. And I wish you all the best. I really do. You deserve everything.
Were you slightly hoping that Dillon Danis would accept KSI's bet, therefore giving you more of an opportunity to win because of the striking and the boxing?
Yeah, do you know what? It's funny that you say that because I think Dillon actually came. Dillon was the one that landed the first jab, which surprised me a little bit. So I think he must have like in his mind been like, okay, well, yeah, actually, I am going to land a couple of shots on you to show you what I'm about. So because remember, it was me that initiated the takedown. So it's like I probably did get into his head a little bit, and he was probably going to, you know, come and strike at me, which would have been a way better outcome for me. But you know, I've been sitting there every night, Fred, up until this day, mulling over what's been going on or what could have happened in the fight, and I think slowly I'm just going crazy. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the pain of defeat is nowhere near as bad as the pain of not participating and not getting in the ring. If I'd have pulled out for whatever reason, again, I had problems this fight camp, Fred. I won't go into that. But if I pulled out for whatever reason, I know that that pain is way worse than getting in there and doing it and then being put away like that. You know, I'd rather go down on my own sword than bottle it ever. I'm not a bottle job. I'll never pull out of a fight. You know, the first fight I had on the big stage, I jumped on the plane to go and fight Aaron Chalmers, as you know, and my arm was in a cast. Like legitimately, my arm was in a cast. I got a picture on my phone, proof. Me getting on the plane with an arm with my arm in a cast because I had ripped my bicep tendon, my distal bicep tendon. I ripped it in a sparring match like a week before the fight, but I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want anyone to think that I was trying to get out of the fight or try and like think of an excuse as to why I lost. I didn't tell the medics or anyone to do with the doctor team because I didn't want them to say no to me fighting. So, you know, I'm just I'm just grateful I got to go in there, make history, and do what I believe was right. And yeah, that's it. The pain that I'm feeling now, I know it's bad, but it would have been way, way worse if for whatever reason I'd have pulled out of the fight, you know?
Well, imagine you pulled out of that fight against Aaron Chalmers, which I was there for in Dubai, November
Yeah.
2023, end of November for the CFN event. And if you'd have pulled out of that one, I doubt you'd be fighting Dillon Danis on Misfits now. So it all kind of all slots
Yeah.
in place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's very, very true, bro. Very true. And I wouldn't have met you either. So
Which is the bonus. Which is the bonus. Um, have you heard he's spoken to Andrew Tate since the fight at all?
yeah, do you know what? I FaceTimed with Andrew directly after the fight in the locker room and he gave me some words of support and just said, "Look, you're a G. You hit him with a couple of shots, and no one cares about his win. It's gay anyway, the jiu-jitsu stuff, and no one cares about his shitty win. Um, you still got in there and did the business, and I'm fucking proud of you. So, you know, but he's remember he doesn't follow me on Twitter, by the way. He's not my real friend apparently, but but you know, he's been very supportive and look, I'm super grateful for the fighting community as well because only real fighters understand in times like this what fighters have to go through. And you know, I even had like Fez Batista, even though we've had a little bit of a crazy past, he sent me some really nice words of encouragement and stuff like that. And I even got a phone call from Roy Jones Jr. as well. And he was even, very supportive. He's like, "Listen, bro, I know this sport inside out. I know how lonely it can be, and what fighters have to go through after a fight that ends in this sort of way. So just want you to know that I'm here to text, call anytime if you want to speak about anything at any time. Then just give me a call. You know where I am." And I thought that was just super sweet. Really grateful, and it actually inspires me to be a better fighter as well all round and pay some attention to these guys that are up and coming. When once I've had my career and I've got myself to a position where I can start giving back, I'm really going to look to follow in these footsteps and try and do things for other fighters and give back to the community in the way that it's given me so much. So it was been a very wholesome few days, just kind of having these exchanges with these legends and stuff like that. And look, again, the harsh reality of it is, Fred, is that your phone is dead. Like my last few fights, obviously, I come off a win streak going into this fight, so I it's it's absolutely like mind blowing how different your phone activity is on the back of a loss versus a win. And I'm
So
not saying
it's a
so.
lot less will message you after a loss than a win, basically.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, some people are given they probably don't know what to say. But all these random people that just appeared out of nowhere, like right before the fight, I forgot. Like some people were messaging me on WhatsApp. I forgot I even knew them or had their numbers in the first place. It'd been years since some of these people had spoke to me. So they're fine reminding me who they are right before the big fight, and then once the big fight's happened, you know they disappear off. People have got short memories.
So do the guys who ask you for tickets, do they message you after the fight, or are they the ones that ask for tickets and then don't message you again?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? I've got some messages from people, and obviously I held an event afterwards anyway. Right after the Misfits, I held like a private event just to kind of show my appreciation to everybody that came to support, win or lose. You still show up for these sorts of people. So a lot of people that came obviously wished me good spirits in person, which is fine. But look, it's not the end of the world. Like I understand how brutal this sport is and how unforgiving it is, but for me personally, like if I'm gonna speak to anybody or wish them well, then I know it's going to come from a genuine place, and I'm not just appearing out of nowhere, when it comes to this sort of stuff. But look, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it, as they say.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow, and I guess time is the best healer of things, and it'll only be a matter of time before you do fight again. And I think that one of the plus sides is you have no injuries, and you don't get choked out, so it's not like you have to have like a 30 or 60-day suspension or anything like that. So you're kind of all good. You would fight tomorrow if you were given the opportunity. So I think that's good. Have you spoken to Mams since the fight? I know he always reaches out to most people after the fights as well.
Yeah, sure, man. Mams is a G. He's such a good guy. I think he's so good to his fighters. Any one of Mams's fighters that has ever had a problem with Mams, you can best believe the problem is with them, not with Mams. I think he's a very fair person. I think he's a very thoughtful person, and he tries to look after his fighters the best he can. The fight, if you imagine having that many fighters under your belt, fighting under your promotion, and the amount he actually reaches out and makes sure, even if it's a quick message, just to say like, "Hey, how are you feeling? Are you good?" Then Mams is there. I can count on him. And look, I developed a fantastic business relationship and friendship with Mams outside of him just checking up on me because I've been in for a scrap. But um, that's probably one of the things that hurt me the most was because I promised Mams I'd go in there, give it 100% and give him a war, and not a single drop of blood was spilt. So I feel disappointed in myself for that, and I hope I can make a good comeback in the next fight and lay it all on the line and go once again.
Well, I mean, look at your fight against Nick LMAO. That was a been war the whole time in Qatar. Is that a fight you'd like to revisit, maybe do a rematch of that, or are there any other fights that stick out to you, which would make sense for you to fight next in MMA or boxing?
Yeah, I don't really know right now, Fred, to be honest. I've not spent that much time sitting down and thinking about who to fight next. I'm just, you know, whether any of these other fighters like it or not, my stock price has increased since the Dillon fight. And people see the way that I act and the way that I am on the build-ups to these fights, and I know they want a piece of me. And my DMs are good enough proof for that. But I think I'll just sit back for a couple of weeks now, get some rest, get some recovery, just do some business, and then get back in the gym and then start building up a new hit list.
You gonna go on holiday?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, I'm going to go and see Andrew in a few days. Going to head out to Romania, go and see the boys, catch up with them, and I'm probably going to take my family away as well this weekend because my family have been putting up with me being this way. Even though I was away in Thailand for this fight camp, just even being distant away from me and having to go through all this stuff. I'm telling you right now, I seem like I'm in good spirits right now, but I'm telling you, it's an emotional roller coaster in this house, bro. It's an emotional roller coaster. So they've been putting up with me being a shithead for the last few weeks. So I think it's time that I took them away and let them go have some fun and relax a little bit in the sun somewhere. So maybe I'll take them to Greece or somewhere like that.
Shout out to Rory as well. I saw him at Fight Night. He's a nice guy, and it was really nice to see him again. He was there, full
Yeah, he's a
support to see
legend.
you.
He's a legend, Rory. I love him.
Is he going to Romania with you when you go over?
I'm not sure. I don't think so this time. I think I'm pretty sure he told me he lives in Ireland at the moment. Um, I don't know if he'd had a few too many drinks or not when he told me, but he told
Forgotten
me he lived.
Yeah, forgotten his home address already after
Yeah, yeah,
a few
yeah.
pints. But yeah, I mean that's about it. I'll make sure to do another one of these when you get some more fight news. But just one last thing before I do let you go. Andrew
Sure.
Tate coming to Misfits. Is this a possibility that we can look forward to? I know that Arahawani put the thing out about being in talks. Andrew Tate was also added to the Misfits pound for pound list without even fighting on Misfits. So I'm sure that's man sort of tempting him to come on, see if we can get him on the promotion. Is this a bigger chance now than it's ever been before for him to be on Misfits?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Gonna have to wait and see.
Oh, you know something, Warren, and you're just like, how do I phrase? How do you're now where I'm thinking, how do I ever come across really PR trained here, but like not give anything away?
Yeah, no, I thought you might press on that a little bit. There's a lot going on right now, but I think I said it to you last time. Never say never. Anything can
Mm.
happen, but let's see what happens. Let's sit and hope because this is about to go to a whole new universe if it does happen. It's
Yeah.
uh it's about to go crazy. I mean that's you're talking bigger than ever before, you know, which I'm excited for.
No, certainly, certainly. You have to get you and Rory on the undercard. That's what Rory was telling me about. He's like, Fred, I got to win that undercard to Tate fights, and I was like, you got you and Warren on the undercard at some part. Have
Yeah,
made sure on Tate's contract, part of the contract is that Warren and Rory have to be on the undercard. That's what he's gonna like
yeah,
sneak in like very
I th
small writing and make sure it's in there.
yeah. I think that'll be good. Yeah, yeah. A little disclaimer, get us on there 100%. But you best believe if my bro's going to war, I'm going to war too. So
No, certainly. Well, I look forward to it. Also, more Warren, I really appreciate you taking the time out of the day. I know you're very, very crazy busy right now, so thank you very much. And yeah, I'll see you soon. But thank you very much for your time, mate. I always appreciate it a lot.
thank you, brother. Lots of love to you, man. I appreciate you always.